next.
Me personally, I don't feel I'm a threat to children. In the past, before I made the decision to change, I would have been all over that kid. I would have been groping him. I would have been making any kind of contact I could. And then later on to it, having extreme and nasty fantasies about him.
Gives you some insight into the mental process that goes on with a sexual predator who had his eyes set on a little boy. That was a man we're calling Mike, talking about a young boy who almost became his victim. Before we hear Mike's version of what happened with Jarrett specifically, I want to hear a little bit about Mike's past from Mike.
I was able to molest or get children to expose themselves 4 or 5 kids a day. And it was easy. Well, the eldest was 16, and the youngest was 3 or 4. Majority was male, with a few females involved. Over the course of the years, counting siblings and friends, a rough average would probably be 200 victims. I got picked up because I had contact with neighborhood kids, and the neighborhood I was living in was really packed with kids. I really couldn't avoid the contacts. But I got picked up because in a weakened point where I gave into a weakened state, I had allowed several minors to enter my house. I had no intention whatsoever of molesting any of the kids that I came in contact with on a daily basis. I was only trying to be friendly and nice.
He says he didn't do anything wrong, Dawn.
Well, he violated his parole.
Do you believe that he was not going to harm your son?
No, I don't believe that at all. I believe he was.
Your mom's out here?
Yes.
You believe it too?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I have to commend the mother for following her first mind.
Yeah. Exactly. Your question, please?
Absolutely, and I was going to say the exact same thing. I have to commend her for taking her responsibility as a parent seriously. Too many people don't.
And not being afraid to talk to your kids.
Exactly.
As young as he was, there is an age-appropriate way to tell kids and not make them afraid, but empower them, give them the weapons that they need to fight against these monsters. How do they do it? That's at the core of our show today. What are the strategies? So to help arm all of you, we asked Mike.
Well, the way I'd work with the training parents gave their kids on good touch, bad touch, stranger danger, is by coming across as a non-threat, talk to the kid, get them to relax and to trust me. And in some cases, I would even know the parents. I'd go meet the parents, so they know who I was, so I'd no longer be a stranger. In one case, I had a victim who money was a lure. In other cases, it was the promise of providing things they wanted, candy, motorcycle rides, seeing people that they like. There's all kinds of different things that we use for lures. There's actually no set, per se, lure. If a kid told me that I'm not supposed to do this, I was told no. In those kind of cases, I had already got them to agree to play what I called a game. I made a game for them, and in the process of that, they made a promise to do what I said without questioning it. And when they questioned what I said or resisted me, then I would play hurt, and I'd play the guilt trip. Well, gee, you said this to me, you promised. You know, how would you feel if I broke a promise to you? I'm hurt. And I'd play on their need not to hurt others, to feel wanted. A lot of kids are afraid that they tell their parents something like this is going on, or someone's acting this way around me, that they'll get yelled at or in trouble. And that's a great tool that I used for several years doing that, is the fear that, gee, if someone finds out, you're going to get in trouble, you'll be punished.
It does make you sick.
Very.
And it takes the goodness in our kids, and they zero right in on it. How do we defend our children against men who will use a child's innocence and their best impulses against them? There are answers, and we will hear some of them next, plus what happens when children do fall victim.
When I was 3, I was basically raped by my father and 4 other people, made to do sexual acts with him. He got enjoyment out of watching me and my little sister together. The sexual abuse by my father went on until I was about 14, at which point he was arrested. The first time I acted out on my own was about 8 or 9. I was 8 or 9 years old.
It's just so chilling and so powerful. And as much as we find child molesters despicable, that's what happens, this cycle of abuse. Where are you from?
I'm from Germany.
Do you feel sympathy for Mike the molester?
No, I can't feel any sympathy, but I think I don't want to excuse any of his behavior, but you have to look at him as a child like a blank notebook, I want to tell it, because I think his family and also surrounding will press him. I think there must be any reason for his behavior.
Well, that's the way he was shown love, and clearly I agree with you, he was victimized, but when this happens, it doesn't happen to one little child, it happens to all of us, because as that one little child grows up, we all deal with the problems that may manifest in adult life, and that takes me to Sydney's story. Pretty, it's to talk to the molesters and to hear from their mouths what they do and what they think parents could do to keep us safe from them. Here's Mike.
The kids that fear their parents are the easiest to victimize because if they're afraid of their parent, they're going to turn to you if you're nice to them. Kids who are educated about sex, who know what the functions are, what it's all about, are more difficult to maneuver into in an appropriate situation because they're more aware of, yeah, I may feel good, but it doesn't mean that you're supposed to touch me there. Sit there and teach your kid, like you every day do, stranger danger and all that. Don't arrange for someone you know who's not going to victimize them, and that you know you can trust, which is hard to find, to approach them. Someone that the kid really doesn't know, to approach them and see if they can lure him off. And just keep doing this till the kid does not give in. That's the most effective way that I can think of that you can prevent it from children. Schools can assist and aid in the protection, but essentially it has to start at home. The parents have to be willing to deal with reality. A lady approached me with her 5-year-old son and asked me to take him into the bathroom to potty. That's like a dream come true to have a parent willingly and knowingly give their kid to you.
This one really gets to me, Dawn, because like you, I have a 6-year-old son, and there's that dilemma. He wants to go in the big boy's bathroom. The law tells you after they're 5 or so, they're not supposed to go into the ladies' room. You're there by yourself. That mother probably thought she was doing a very safe thing by asking a nice man to escort her son.